Elden Ring is the worst game I have ever played in my entire life. It's terrible, horrible, and atrocious. I have 200 hours to back this claim up, so hear me out. I hate how I literally can't stop playing this game. I don't think I have ever been this addicted to anything ever. I literally can't stop playing this game. It has me by the balls. And if I try to start up another game, it gently squeezes. Why can't I stop playing this game? I have already beaten it 5 times. I 100%ed it. There is literally nothing more for me in this game, yet I still play it. Why? I'll tell you why. First of all, the title is clickbait, if you didn't get that already. So I'm going to go through this in different categories. And the first one I'm going to go across is the community. A lot of the people that review this game negatively usually refer to the community as toxic. From Software has created the most elitist, toxic community that has one reply to anyone struggling to their games: get good. While I'm sure there's a large portion of people that say that, I would have to argue that this is not entirely the case. My experience with the community has been nothing but a pleasure, and usually the people that say get good are just referring to the stigma that those people have created. When you learn how to summon players to help you with certain sections of the game, they are very humble and usually greet you with a hello. Outside of the game, I have only interacted with the Elden Ring subreddit, and it is full of Soulsborne veterans and first-timers. There's nothing but helpful comments, tips, and tricks to assist people on whatever trouble they may be having. I personally enjoy people helping each other, and that is probably the reason I can't move on from this game yet, but I will go into that later. So the second category that I'm going to go across is atmosphere. The first thing I noticed in this game is the beautiful world of the Lands Between. It mixes a light and peaceful environment with music that eases you into discovering new areas, to blood red skies and creatures that make you terrified of taking another step. Limgrave and Caelid are two examples of how the mood shifts between areas is tremendous. The atmosphere in this game is so conflicting, yet they all have the same feeling of dread, whether you are being called maidenless by the first person you come across, or when you're talking to the Turtle Pope. Getting sent to the Round Table is another unique thing in Elden Ring, and presents to you a feeling that this game is absolutely huge, since the number of NPCs in other Soulsborne games are very small. The open world is also something that From Software does so right, as it gives you the freedom to do anything and everything in any order you care to do it. I'm sure there is a true path on areas and bosses you are recommended to face, yet the game allows you to explore at any rate you please. The random caves and catacombs you come across give you a reason to check all corners of the mountains and strips of lands. You never know what could be hidden. Next, I'm going to go across weapons. There are so many different weapons in this game, it is almost overwhelming, but once you start to break things down, it opens the door to so many simple possibilities. On my first playthrough, I never messed with the Ashes of War or used any of the web blades. I'm used to certain weapons having fixed skills and movesets, so I never thought about changing any of it until I looked more into it. These utilities turn customizing your character build a notch up. This is a great addition to the game so that unique weapons aren't the only things players want. Common weapons can be made just as, if not better, than those weapons dropped from bosses. This game was built for replayability, and I highly recommend replaying this game because you are barely seeing the tip of the iceberg with one playthrough. Strength build to mage build to dex build to arcane build. Each have their own unique piece to fit into the complicated yet simple puzzle that is the combat system. So next I'll go over bosses. The bosses in this game are phenomenal. They are extremely unique to each other, and it really makes you consider using certain strategies to approach each boss with. The YouTube algorithm for Elden Ring boss cheese was probably out of this universe once this game came out. I personally don't care about how anyone wins these fights, but I hope they took the time to appreciate the depth of the combat and how fluent each boss felt. I have also never played a game that had so many delay gods. Patience and determination are key to winning these fights. Veterans will say you have to learn each boss's moveset. I think From Software created a great AI for each of these characters because sometimes it feels like Miyazaki was controlling them from behind the scenes. I also have to mention that I am slightly disappointed that they nerfed Radon in the first patch. I believe he was perfect the way he was, and I hope they bring him back someday. Next is the story. The world of Elden Ring is rich in lore for literally every single character, and as of right now, there's still more information being found on these characters. It's pretty crazy. The community has brought so many people to come together and try to find what the meaning is behind absolutely everything. The Soulsborne community is already accustomed to this, as each game doesn't tell you the story up front, but gives you hints throughout item descriptions, NPC dialogue, and things in the environment. It is subtle yet effective in getting the player to interact with everything they encounter. Engagement is the key in Elden Ring, especially with how many side quests are available. You could beat this game and not even know what happened, and yet still have a great time playing. That's the beauty of this game. It's enjoyable on every level of what a game could be. So this is just an end note. The main reason I love playing video games is it helps me with my anxiety of real world problems. When it comes to multiplayer games, I enjoy helping anyone that is struggling. This makes me a natural support player. If I'm playing COD, I'll take out the kill streaks, including UAVs. If I'm playing Overwatch, I'll be support or defensive tank. If I'm playing on an MMO, I'll be the healer. Elden Ring allows me to help others in need of support and guidance. I know what boss fights I struggled with, and I want to help anyone that is struggling the same ways I did. So, to answer my question from earlier, why am I still playing the game even though I 100%ed it and did everything possible? Because I enjoy helping others continue the experience of a supportive community and overall fun, engaging game. This game earned a 10 out of 10 from me. To anyone that gave it poor reviews without putting more than 5 minutes of playtime is only gatekeeping themselves out of a fun experience. I understand it is not perfect technically, and there are still an abundance of bugs and glitches, but for my overall experience, it's perfect. This game gives me hope that some developers still care about quality of their product, and I hope more follow the same path.